Welcome to your reading. Thank you for being here. If you're seeing this, I don't feel it's a coincidence. I really do feel like spirit connects us in the most miraculous ways. And so, yeah, let's get started on today's reading. What needs to come through for you today? Right away, what I was hearing for you before I hit record was blank slate. There is something here about reinvention, about starting fresh, about starting new, about starting over on a blank page, fresh slate. Okay, I feel like you are also being urged to be adaptable at this time. I really do feel like you're going to be walking into very important rooms, and it may be necessary for you to adapt to the people that you're going to be around. I really do think that that is something that you're quite gifted with. I think that you can really shapeshift in a way to your environments, and I really think that that has been a result of your resilience. I think that you have been put into a lot of different situations and environments throughout your life that have allowed you to become very resilient and adaptable. I just heard survival of the fittest. So it could be that you resonate with that energy where you have quite literally had to like decide to sink or swim in life, and you have swam throughout every situation that has been thrown your way. And so I really feel like spirit is highlighting that aspect of you and how that's such a great quality that you have. And I really think that coming up, they're asking you to kind of go with the wind, see where the wind takes you in life, and that you may end up in rooms that you didn't even imagine yourself walking into, and connecting with people that, again, you never really expected to come across or meet, and how somehow this lands you in a favorable position in your life. With the blade as well, I feel like you are getting the opportunity to, like I said, start fresh. And so I really think that coming up, you're going to be able to cut ties with the things that don't resonate with you, the things that you feel like are kind of a dead end in your life, whether it be parts of yourself or other people, places, things. I keep hearing dead weight. So you may be getting this feeling that I just heard spring cleaning as well. So it could be that you are really feeling the urge to reorganize right now, purge things out of your closet, out of your home. I just feel like you're making space. You feel this urge to make space energetically. And so yeah, you're it's like you're getting this opportunity to sacrifice things that just aren't aligned with you anymore. And so it's kind of like this carefree energy I'm getting. Carefree energy where it's kind of like we donate all our things, we throw our most prized belongings in a bag, and we go somewhere very spontaneously. It's kind of like we go wherever the wind takes us. That's kind of the energy I'm feeling here. And because I'm just getting a big energy of reinventing yourself, reinventing your life, just starting over. And again, like maybe really getting conscious about your belongings or the things that you keep in your life, and starting to reevaluate what is dead weight, what do you maybe feel like you've been clinging on to that you don't actually need. And I just kind of feel like, you know, the energy I'm getting when you go through a really transformative chapter in your life and you get this urge to like cut your hair, just chop it all off, or you get the urge to like dye it a really crazy color. Or that's kind of the energy I'm getting here, where you are taking action in your life to like free yourself, to find freedom, to cut the dead weight off. All right. And yeah, there's a big energy of being flexible at this time, allowing yourself to go with the ebb and flow of life and kind of seeing where that lands you. It's really nice, actually. It just feels like starting fresh, starting over, like getting away from, it's like, it feels like, moving away to a new city and nobody knows you, or stepping foot into a new bar and nobody knows you, and you can kind of just like reinvent yourself, Nothing is holding you back, no perceptions of the past, no, just energy that you've outgrown. That's what this feels like. And so it could be that if you're feeling in like that energy as of late, it's like this hint that you're about to really reinvent your life on a grand scale. You're about to start over in some way, whether it be starting down a new career path, or like I said, moving to a new city, or completely transforming the way that you look, or like there's something really big here about like an identity shift and just like a life shift as well. It could be that you feel like you're due for that. It's funny, I heard midlife crisis. So kind of like the energy, like, the things that people do when they go through a midlife crisis. I'm not saying that's what you're going through, but that's kind of what Spirit is comparing this energy to, where it's just like you want to overhaul everything in your life because maybe you're craving this excitement, maybe you're craving this freedom, or maybe you just feel like you've outgrown yourself, outgrown your environment, outgrown your life, and you're really ready to just start over. I'm getting a big sense of like fearlessness here, where you're not feeling scared to do that, and it's almost like exhilarating. I really want to go ahead and read the guidebook for the blade card. I keep really being drawn to it. Some of you guys may also have like a blade on an altar, or maybe you have like a lucky knife or something that was gifted to you. I'm also seeing this like butter knife or cake knife that's like engraved. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it says, you are invited to draw your blade and use it. It is not auspicious to hesitate, to waste time in idle talk, or to hide from the inevitable. Heaven and earth are aligned to support you in claiming your power, so take decisive action. Overcome your fear of hurting others. Unsheathe the blade and use it wisely. Okay, so yeah, like what I was saying, becoming very conscious of what it is that you're cutting out or removing out of your life. And it's kind of cool too, because yeah, there's this very like instinctual, intuitive, spiritual essence to this as well. It feels very, again, like conscious, deliberate. Like it's not just like again, using the example of the midlife crisis, a lot of people think that when people go through midlife crisis, they're going through like this impulsive chapter in their life. And so like their actions are a little bit unhinged and not divinely aligned in a way. And so a lot of people can kind of look at them like, oh, that person's crazy for doing that. Or, there's a little bit of judgment that comes with midlife crises, I feel. But there's something here about this being the opposite. And I'm seeing a hummingbird as I say this. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, it's a really cute hummingbird. So to me, it literally just stopped midair and stared at me and then flew away. So when I see hummingbirds, I usually, at least in my own path, I see them when I'm about to make very pivotal decisions and changes in my life. So I actually usually see them before I move places. That's always when I see hummingbirds, or when I'm following my heart on a decision, on a big change in my life. I always see hummingbirds, and to me, hummingbirds symbolize following your dreams and having faith in your dreams, and also being very adaptable. Like hummingbirds, they literally flap their wings. I don't even know what it is, like 180. I don't know. If you know in the comments, let me know. But they like flap their wings at a crazy rate. They're like one of the like the quickest, most agile birds, and they can literally move in any direction within like a second. And so there's something here again about adaptability. And so, yeah, maybe you are going through this stage in your life where you're being called to be very adaptable, flexible. Don't hold on to ideas. Don't hold on to, I don't know, things in your life almost, you know? It's like, and also with the blade, what was coming up there is like, do it without guilt. Like, don't be afraid of hurting people's feelings in the process, because the things that you are cutting out, they are divinely aligned, they're divinely guided, and it's kind of like, you know, it's time to cut the dead weight. It's time to cut the dead weight. Let's see what the wind card has to say, although I feel like I've already kind of touched on its essence, but let's just see if there's anything interesting that comes through. Oh, isn't that funny? This card talks about all 4 cardinal directions, like what I was talking about with the hummingbird, right? Okay, interesting. So I guess, okay, let's just read it. The symbol of the wind represents the element of air. It rules communication, thought, song, and inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities both positive and negative. The wind blows from each of the 4 directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. South, carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. Exactly. West, calling you to more introspection, to a willingness to make final decisions, to let go of attachment, ego, desires. North, moving to bring you wisdom and strength. East, carrying clarity of vision and purpose. It says whichever way the wind is blowing you, the message which the wind whispers or shouts is a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but you will find exultation in moving towards it and receiving its lessons. It says when the spirit of the wind comes calling, it's a sign of change. Perhaps you need to change your mind about something. Perhaps an old way of doing things has become automatic, and now that you've gained greater clarity, you can make a new choice. Regardless of what the change is, you can expect to be understood and to have clear communication with others at this time. Ideas are solid, and the shift that is being called for you is in the highest good of all. Exactly. You know what this is making me think of? And I don't want to hijack your reading, but I really do think that Spirit is highlighting the situation in my own life so that maybe it can paint a picture for you. So before I moved to the place that I'm currently living in, which I would say is like my dream home, before I moved here, I was living somewhere else. It was very unexpected for me to end up wanting to move here, okay? It wasn't planned. But when I got home from this trip, I said, you know what, like I need to move there. And the biggest thing that was holding me back was hurting other people's feelings, because I had made some commitments in the old place I was living in, and I really felt like, oh no, like I how am I gonna do this, Spirit? Like I can't leave where I currently live. Like I have this coming up, I have this commitment to this. Like how are the people going to understand? How are the people around me going to understand and not look at me as selfish in the decision that I'm making, even though I know it feels so divinely aligned and it's necessary? And so I was very scared to communicate with the people around me about the decision that I was making, but at the end I knew I had to do it, and so I did. And it's funny because everything went way smoother than I could have anticipated. Everyone was very understanding, everyone was supportive, and it just lifted this huge weight off my shoulders. And I really thought that I was going to have to battle the people around me and the situations that I was in much more than I ended up having to. And so I feel like take that as a lesson as well. If there is something that you feel really called to change in your life, and maybe like me, you have certain commitments that you've made for a certain amount of time or whatever it is, right? Like contracts even, you know, anything that is really keeping you tied to something. Trust that you may be thinking worst case scenario and that it may be a lot smoother than you anticipate. And usually when we are making decisions that are divinely aligned and divinely supported, it does come much easier than when it's not, okay? Things feel and flow so much more smoothly. And so I really feel like you need to hear that today, okay? And if there are things as well that are out of your control that you feel like you need to figure out as well, so let's say finding a job, finding a home, like whatever it is that maybe is out of your control, that you kind of have to like rely on the universe to bring in for you, or maybe like government, banks, like other institutions or people are in control. Trust that that can also be much easier as well. Trust that you can get approved, hired, whatever it is, like much quicker and in a much better way than you are planning. So that's also what I want to say to you. Okay, Spirit. Ooh. What area of life is this? Like what do we want to highlight here with the Astro Dice, please? 1. Okay, first house coming through. So the first house is all about our own decisions. It's like the house of self, right? So it can talk about new ventures, like action that we take. It can also talk about our health. It can talk about our appearance. It's just us. It's everything to do with us and nobody else. And so this is really the energy I'm getting, where it's like, it's okay to be selfish when it really feels like it's a part of your destiny or a part of the path that you're meant to take. Like the first house is all about like really putting yourself first. And of course it mirrors the 7th house. So there's this aspect of also needing to balance the opinions of others. And so I think that maybe you're being called to be flexible with other people, but also don't abandon your needs. Don't abandon yourself and what you think is best for you at this time. But just find a way to be diplomatic and also like thoughtful of other people at the same time, right? So if you have to break a contract or an agreement that you made, it's like maybe you want to try and compromise with the other person and kind of like, show them that you don't just want to like screw them over. Like there's something here about still finding compromise, even though it's really important that you do pursue what it is you're feeling called to pursue at this time, okay? Saturn, Aries. So Aries, right away I'm thinking of stuff with the head, because Aries rules over the head, okay? So this could talk about decisions, but with Saturn in the first, that can also make me think about health. A lot of people, when they have Saturn transiting the first house, they get really serious about their health. A lot of the times they start exercising, especially there, because Aries is a very active sign. So this can talk about like starting a new exercise routine and like getting really strict about your health. A lot of people lose weight when Saturn goes through the first house. But the energy I'm getting too, as well, is that I feel like you have been going through a very restrictive period in your life. It could be that there's been a lot of restriction, like I said, right? A lot of commitment. Maybe you've had to like make a lot of commitments to other people. Maybe there was like a certain contracts or legally binding things, like just responsibilities in our lives that we feel like we can't really escape from. That's like the energy of Saturn. Saturn can also talk about self-mastery, right? And so it could be that you've recently gone through this period of self-mastery and really needing to be responsible or cautious, organized, very meticulous. And it could be that there's an element of that needs to be applied here. Even though you're being called to be flexible in some way, you're also being called to be meticulous and very, like, basically do your research, do your due diligence before you make a decision, a big change, but also don't hold yourself back at the same time. Allow yourself to experience change in your life and to initiate new beginnings, because the first house in Aries is all about new beginnings. It's about taking the lead in our own lives. And not letting anything hold us back. Even if there isn't a clear path paved ahead for us, it's like just this strong confidence and trust that we will always be taken care of when we follow our heart and when we follow Spirit's guidance. And so there's a very beautiful energy here regarding that for you today. And so maybe with the Saturn there, it's also talking about don't let your head hold you back, because Saturn can also talk about very like dark, depressive, worst case scenario mentality. And so really be careful about what you're saying to yourself when it comes to new beginnings, starting fresh, taking a new path, whatever it is, right? Don't hold yourself back here, but also do your due diligence. And again, the midlife crisis example is coming up as well, where it's kind of like, I feel like that's kind of like the theme with people going through like midlife crisis, impulsive, like decision making stage, is that they don't really do their due diligence. They don't really like think things through. And so it's like, definitely think things through. And I feel like that's kind of what sets this chapter in your life apart from like midlife or quarter life crisis. Okay. But it's also like, if you feel like you don't have the tools at this time or the answers all lined up already, just trust that you will figure that out as you go, because you need to like have this trust in yourself. Okay. There's this need to have trust in yourself. Justice coming through. Again, another bliss sword coming through here. I feel like you need to trust that you have a very level-headed way of doing things. And so if you're doubting, yeah, I feel like you're kind of toying with an idea or a decision right now. If you're doubting yourself and you feel like maybe you're being impulsive or maybe doing things out of boredom, like if you're like really wondering if you're grounded in this, or if you're kind of just like, you know, like getting caught up in the clouds, like type idea, I do feel like Spirit wants to let you know that like there is balance here, and that this is like not a crazy idea or decision, basically. I also feel like with Justice coming through, it talks all about like karmic balance. And so again, if you feel like you've been in this very restrictive chapter of your life, then I do feel like Spirit saying that you are going to be liberated from that, because that's just kind of like the rule of the universe, right? Everything that goes up comes down. And I was thinking about this actually yesterday, or this morning, how you really have to embrace everything that you go through in life, because everything really is temporary. And just as quick as good times fade away, bad times do as well. And so there's this reminder of that if there has been a lot of restriction, hard work, self-mastery, holding ourselves back from kind of going with the wind, letting our hair down, and I don't know, just really living life, I feel like Spirit saying it is your turn. You deserve it. It's your turn, and you are going to notice that things get less restrictive. Things are going to be less restrictive moving forward, okay? What else? As well, if you've been dealing with headaches, anxiety, overthinking, again, stuff with the head, maybe sinus congestion, or maybe very dry nose, dry throat. This is definitely for you, and I think that there is some type of relief coming here with that. And I think also maybe you're reevaluating how you may be contributing to certain like mental health issues or physical ailments. It's kind of like, I feel like you're really evaluating how you can do better as well. It's so random. Something about mold came through. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, nice. Queen of Pentacles really makes me feel in the strength. Like, I feel like you're really being called to nurture yourself right now. Nurture your ideas. But just nurture yourself. Six of Cups. With the Six of Cups, it makes me feel like you... Five of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Look, I feel like you are a very hardworking person. You're very nurturing, and I do feel like you often put other people above you. I feel like maybe you're always giving to other people, whether it be your kids, your partner, your friends, your family, your work, like whatever it is. Like, I always feel like you're giving more of yourself to others than you receive. And there's something here about like the universe wanting to balance that out and kind of give back to you. If you feel like you've been holding back from like doing things in your life that you've really wanted to do, really wanted to change because you're worried about how it's going to affect other people, I feel like Spirit's saying like really look at it as like yourself giving you a gift. Okay, you're giving yourself a gift. And so and I'm hearing too, like, this is a long time coming. Like, this is something that you deserve, that you've kind of been avoiding doing it for a while. Yeah, there's this energy of like procrastination with something. But I do feel like Spirit's about to be handing you a gift in some way. Wow, look, the Star, the Chariot, the Lovers, and the Knight of Cups. Nine of Pentacles reversed at the bottom of the deck. There's something that you don't feel confident with. Maybe you feel like you're not prepared to move forward with something or make some type of decision. I feel like you're going through this very big like chapter pillar in your life. I feel like you're gonna look back at this specific chapter in your life, and because I just heard pivotal, I feel like you're gonna look back at it and be like, wow, like that really did change the course of my life for the better, or like that really was like a big moment, you know? It's like, it's making me think of like when you die or you have like a near-death experience and you get like a flash of your whole life, and it's like the highlight reel, you know? And it's like you're not gonna see all the little itty mundane details of the life you lived. You're gonna see the big pillars, the big chapters, the big pivotal moments that changed everything. And so this is what this feels like. And I feel like with the Knight of Cups, Spirit is really coming to you with some type of gift. Okay, there's some type of gift here, and it's like maybe this gift is one to move forward. It's one to start pouring into our own cup. It's one to start going after our own desires. It's one of really asking ourselves, like, will I be satisfied when I die if I don't take this risk, or if I don't make this decision for myself? Like, it really feels like needing to make a decision for yourself here. I also feel like there may be a lot of options presented to you coming up where you need to discern and figure out like what you want to go after, like what route, what path. Like, it's a little bit of like indecision here, idling, I want to say, but I feel like that's about to change. Okay, I feel like something's gonna happen. I just heard like opportunity or offer that you can't deny. Like I said, Spirit's gonna give you a gift. It could be like you come across your dream home and you're like, I can't say no to this. Or you come across your dream job and it's like, I can't say no to this. Even if it's going to uproot my whole life, I can't say no to it. Or you meet your dream person and it's like, I can't say no to this. It's like, you know, those gifts in life that are just like, I don't know, you just stumble upon, that are just given to you and you're like, oh my God, like, I can't say no to this. Like, that's what this feels like. The sun coming through, guys. Exactly. There are these moments that it's like, it gives you a glimpse at how beautiful life can really be if you take it, if you go down this route. Yeah, time of great joy and success, brilliant epiphanies that lead to magical opportunities, plans that work out perfectly, gratitude to divine. Exactly, plans that work out perfectly. I just heard it's the perfect time. The timing is perfect. The timing is perfect. But yeah, it's like, again, these moments that you can't say no to. You can't say no to, even though there may be uncertainty, fear of the unknown, fear of walking into like this empty room of possibilities and maybe not feeling very confident with like what can come about, because it's just so like unclear. It's just, you feel this crazy draw towards something that you can't explain, and it's like you just have to take action towards it. Like, it's like a very instinctual thing that may seem impulsive to other people, but feels very careful and calculated and right to us, okay? What was I said? Wait for perfect time. I was saying about the timing. Here it says wait for perfect timing. A guardian angel is someone who watches over you. Yeah. Okay, so remember how I was saying, like, make sure you do your due diligence. Like, this is not the type of thing where, you know, we book a one-way ticket to Thailand and we don't know where we're going to stay. Like, it doesn't necessarily feel like that. It feels more so like, okay, I know where maybe the second I don't know where I'm going to live or stay or what it looks like, but I know like I'm going to be like diligent and plan that before I get there, for example. But I'm going to maybe like take the risk and just like go for it, make the decision that I'm going to go and do something, even if it's like completely crazy or completely different than what anyone would expect me to do. There's something about that here. Spiritual partnership, don't let your past hold you back, coming through. Yeah, with the Six of Cups, that talks about the past, right? And what was I saying with the blade? It's like you're so ready to just like reinvent yourself, cut your past off, like just start fresh. You know what this is? Okay, take it as it resonates. Like, this might not be for everyone, but it's kind of giving me that energy, or this is the example they're giving me of like empty nesters. And it's like they finally have this like potential freedom to go and live their lives because like their kids are grown, they're gone, whatever. They don't have like that responsibility anymore. And so they quite literally can go move to another country or do something like that and like restart their lives, reinvent their lives type thing. But it could be that you're like, I don't know, should I? Like, maybe I shouldn't. Like, what about this? What about that? And so it's kind of like this energy of like, just go for it. Like, go towards something new and exciting is what I'm hearing. Like, the time to be overly cautious with change, I feel like that's kind of like a thing of the past that like you're being encouraged to let go of. All right, spiritual partnership coming through. A win-win outcome is forecast. Yes, yes, yes. See, this is gonna be good. It's like whoever you're worrying about, like hurting or disappointing or screwing over, like don't worry about it because it's gonna be okay. Like, this literally again reminds me of what happened to me when I was like, oh my god, I need to move. It's like, oh, but I don't want to screw my landlord over. Like, I love her, she's amazing, I don't want to leave her, like exit my contract, my lease, and then like she's screwed for money, she can't find someone. So I compromised with her and I found her a tenant. I told her, okay, I'll do like the showings and I'll help you find a tenant and then you can decide, you know, if you like them or not, whatever. And so she ended up winning because she didn't lose any money, and I ended up winning because I, you know, could get out of my contract without her being pissed or without like hurting and affecting her. So it's something like that here. And with spiritual partnership, it's like, again, I feel like Spirit's giving this to you as like a gift, and it's kind of like trust that you are co-creating with Spirit and that they are leading the way. All right, I really hope that resonated. If you want a personal reading with me, you can go ahead, click the link down in the description. I have also added a tip jar, so if this resonated with you and you wanted to leave a donation, I would so appreciate it. Of course, not necessary, but yeah, I just want to say thank you if you stayed until the end, and I will see you next time. I love you guys.